on CityCast Boise. Boise has a long history of churning out skateboarding stars, but are our show pony days behind us? Push and Pour's Lucas Erlbach is with me to talk about the opening of a new skate park in West Boise, and he tells me why the Boise scene is special to skaters from all around the world. It's Tuesday, August 8th. I'm Emma Arnold, and this is what Boise's talking about. Hi, Lucas. Welcome to CityCast Boise.
Hey, Emma.
So let's start with some exciting news. Boise just got a new skate park, right?
Yes, we did. Molinar Skate Park.
And it is over off Maple Grove at Molinar Park. And tell us a little bit about this skate park. Like, what makes it special?
One thing that makes it special is it's built by Grindline Skate Parks, which is like a specialty skate park builder. They built Road Skate Park and Star Skate Park and Middleton Skate Park. They're not out of this area. There isn't really any specialty skateboard builders out of Idaho. So that's really cool. Just the fact that we can have a company that's focused and based on just building skate parks.
Yeah, and I read that this park is sort of specially set up for any level of skater can use this park. Is that true?
Correct, it is, yeah. One of our main focuses with this skate park was to build something that was like approachable at all levels. So like, I mean, if you're a really good skater, you can skate a really easy obstacle, right? But if you're a beginning skater, you're not going to be able to go skate a humongous bowl. So the level of progression is based more on the intermediate kind of entry-level skater this skate park is. Because we already have Road Skate Park that's like, you know, that thing is kind of like a show pony. That thing is crazy.
Is it? See, yeah. I don't know enough about skating to know. So Roads it's more, tell me what that means, a show pony. I love that saying.
Like, I mean, you could do like, I mean, they had like the X Games there and stuff like that, right? Like obstacles are big enough for your average person to be able to watch something spectacular happen, like in a bowl where people are going to fly 10 feet in the air, rather than Molinar has something like that. It's beautiful, just in a different aspect. It's more creative built, creative obstacles. Well, Roads is like that as well, don't get me wrong, but it's just bigger, if that makes sense. Everything's taller, everything's deeper, everything's longer.
So a nice spot for a beginning skater or a pro skater to go and just kind of goof around and have fun. So talk to me about the Boise Skate Association.
We're super fortunate in Boise to have like this wild kind of skate history and skate scene that I think a lot of people don't realize. I mean, there's a lot of multi-generational skaters that are still here supporting skating, pushing skating forward in Boise. And that's why people, I think, are finally just now catching on with like, holy cow, the skate scene in Boise is growing. There's skate parks and there's things going on. And it's always been there. There's just now this skate park influence, right? There's multiple skate parks and skate parks are getting built. So I joined the skate association mainly in the fact that like, I'm obviously a skater. I've skated my whole life. I love what it does for communities and the youth. And I mean, anybody from a 7-year-old to a 70-year-old. And I think it's such an important thing in our communities to be able to have a space to be able to go express their creativity. You don't need a friend. You don't need anything, right? You just need yourself. So I really wanted to be there just to kind of help push that, I guess, forward. I was really involved with getting a skate park built in Star, and we were actually able to name it after my father, which was pretty cool. So I'd kind of already known like the ins and outs of what it takes to get a skate park built, as far as, you know, the hoops in the city and the design process and the public meetings and everything like that. And I love that process. So one of my good friends, Josh Davis, that owns JD's Bodega, actually is the president of the Skate Association. And then two guys in town, Paul Whitworth and Greg Goulet, that own Prestige Skate Shop, or are on the Boise Skate Association since the beginning.
So you mentioned the history of Boise skating, which even I, as somebody who doesn't really follow skating, knows that like we've had some pretty big names come out of here, some pretty big competitions. So give us some highlights. Like, what should people know about Boise skate history?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest mistaken thing on skating too is like a lot of people like to point out, you know, like the big contest or the big people or something, but skating is so much bigger than that, right? It's like, it's a community first and foremost. So it's like the community of skating in Boise is far to none. It's like one of the best. I mean, we've had, like you said, we've had great skaters and great contests and stuff, but it's never missed a step in the last 30 years. You know, people have been skating and pushing the envelope of skate parks and skateboarding to people in Boise for that long. It's just finally now hitting, which is a great time for me because I own a skate-themed coffee shop and I'm a skater, so it works out perfect.
When did you start skating?
I started skating when I was 9 years old, so 21, 22 years ago.
Can I ask you such a mom question about skateboarding? All three of my kids skateboard. And I tell you, as a mom, it just looks like a sport where you constantly get hurt. It looks so painful. Like, even the other day when I was at the opening, I saw this kid fall. And like, even talking about right now, my eyes are watering. I was like, oh God, he's hurt so bad. And he just caught up and skated off. And I was like, are you tough? My question is, are you tougher than regular people? Why are skateboarders so okay with getting hurt?
I think they're tougher than other people, but also it's like, to be a skater and to be a good skater, you have to have insane perseverance, right? Like the odds of you falling are 100% greater than you landing it. And it takes a long time, right? So like, you're not going to be like, I want to learn this trick and you're just going to do it. It's going to take a lot of, trial and error. And unfortunately in skating, the air is falling on concrete. So yes, you're going to fall a lot.
Yeah, I've even, you put up a video of you falling pretty hard. And I was like, that would have taken me out for a month and a half. I would be down for the count.
I've definitely broken plenty of bones and had surgeries and done it all. And my mom definitely, when we were kids, she was like, turned a blind eye and was just like, please, God, do not get hurt.
I when I would take the kids to the skate park, I would be like, I'll be in the car. I can't watch this.
But that's the beautiful thing about skating too, I think, is like, I mean, you can push it however hard you want, right? You could go buy a skateboard, put on some knee pads and cruise around the park, and you're probably never going to hurt yourself that bad. Or you could be really involved and really love it, and you're just like, the passion is just there, and you want to skate and learn tricks and do all this stuff, and you're probably going to get hurt. It's guaranteed.
You said, Boise has this beautiful skate history, but has Boise always been a skate-friendly town? Like, I know that I've seen like the bumpers on the concrete things downtown. Like,
I would say no and yes, just the perspective that you look at it. Skating has always gotten this bad, like negative, in the eye of the beholder, right? They're like, oh, they're just a bunch of punks that are going to go do graffiti and smoke drugs and skate around and make loud noises. But I think that's the one thing that people point out at skating always.
Do you think that's kind of changing? Do you think that there's more respect for skateboarding as a sport now, especially in Boise?
100%. Yeah. I think just with what people like Prestige Skate Shop have done over they've almost been open 20 years. They've been supporting the community in skating for so long. And now that we have these new skate parks, I think it just gives you people that are non-skaters a better perspective on what good skating is, instead of just being the perspective of like, this is a loud thing that these kids are riding around downtown. So I think it just takes a lot of building up that perspective on we aren't like that,
Yeah. It seems like over and over, I hear Boise skaters say how supportive the scene is. That one thing I loved about the opening of Molinar is it seems like everybody says no matter what level you are, that everybody's really supportive. And when my kids were starting out, that was definitely something I noticed was older skaters, coming up and saying, "Hey, good job," or showing them how to do stuff. Do you think that's always been true of the Boise skate scene?
I do. I think, I really pride myself in that aspect of skating, that it's a really welcoming thing. And so it's like, if more people are coming to the skate park, that just means more people are learning about it and seeing it and feeling it. And then I think that snowballs into an effect where now you have multiple skate parks being built. It's not just overnight, it's transitioning through people like, you want to talk about it and your kid skating and telling his friend, and just this big snowball effect.
So what can we do to make Boise a better skate town even than it is? Like, how can the city support skateboarders?
I mean, the city right now and over the last, 6, 7, 8 years, it could be even longer than that, but they've been doing an incredible job. I mean, there's two aspects to skateboarding. There's street skating, which is why skateboarding has such a bad rep, because it's like you're out skating on public, private property, usually being pretty loud. Skateboards are a loud thing. It's just a piece of wood and metal banging against things. And then you have the skate park, which is like you're at a public facility that's built for you and that you're having a great time. But I was actually just talking to somebody about this the other day. It's like the more skate parks that get built, the less street skating, because you have a place to go, and street skating is a lot harder, right? But that's kind of like where you get your rep in skating. If you like film a good part, you can't film it at the skate park. It's got to be in the streets.
Why? It's just kind of the cred
it's
of
just
that,
the cool.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just the street
cool,
cred.
Yeah.
It's just street cred. It's like you can't, the whole part of it is like, there's like this thrill to it because you might get kicked out. You might have to like run. It's going to be rougher. The spot might not be there, right? They might bulldoze it and develop it into a building. So there's more of this kind of like hunter seek out spot thrill to that. But I've noticed in Boise, now that there's more skate parks, you see a lot less of that. And I think in this city's eyes, that's a win because you're getting the kids off the front porch and the front of the business. And now you're giving them these amazing skate parks that they can go and practice at.
It's still a win for skaters, you think, even though they're kind of maybe losing some of the culture of that?
Yeah, I think it's a win no matter what, because it's not losing the culture. It's just making it bigger. It's just different, I guess, pockets of the culture. Because not everybody's going to want to go street skate some curb in front of, the Boise Cascade building downtown. But maybe kids that all want to go to the skate park and have fun.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, you opened Push and Pour with your partners. One thing I love about Push and Pour, it's literally just a bunch of skater kids who did good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You guys had this crazy idea to open a skate-themed coffee shop, and now you're all over town. So what's next for Push? Where are you headed next? Tell me it's West Boise.
I don't know. There's a lot of people want us to go to West Boise, Meridian, even the Sunset direction. But again, I don't know. It's all pretty organic. I don't really want to rush anything into any spots or go somewhere that we don't want to be in 10 years. So it's just kind of, we've got 3 locations right now. And I think we've done a really good job of kind of finding these little pockets in these little neighborhoods in town without stepping on anybody's toes and kind of doing our own thing. Because I do think that we are a coffee shop first and foremost, but we do have this other kind of fun branding and fun, like just event side to us that we really like to do. And that's kind of what I like to focus on.
Yeah, I know you do fun events because we do a comedy show
we do
during the fall and winter
at
Push and Pour, which is super, super fun.
And I think that's like what really separates us a lot too from everything else in town, or just gives it a different niche, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe more skateboard events. We have skate events sometimes, all the time.
Well, Lucas, congrats on the new skate park. Everybody is so excited about that. My kids have been there every single day pretty much since it opened, and I think everybody's thrilled. Yeah, I mean, I would say a big shout out to Jay and Catherine Albertson's foundation for doing that because they were the big donators for that skate park. So yeah,
it wouldn't be done. It wouldn't be possible without them and the Boise Skate Association and the city of Boise. And I hope they build more because I really do think, like you said, Molinar's packed. There are so many kids there. Before it opened and it had signs all over it saying not open yet, there were 40 kids there. Yeah, there's a gentleman that we work with from the Albertsons Foundation. His name is Roger, and he was saying something at the beginning. He was speaking at the skate park, and he was talking about how the last couple of months they've had fences around the park, and kids are jumping the fences every day. And he said something that I remembered, and he was like, we want to be a part of projects that people can't wait to get into. Like people have been dying to skate this skate park. So it's really cool to be a part of the process and then see the end result of it being full of kids having a great time. Well, we super appreciate your involvement and everybody who got that skate park built. Thanks so much for coming on. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. And before you head out, our community is mourning the loss of a young skateboarder this week. According to KTVB, 16-year-old Jaden Bird Zurowoski was in the crosswalk when he was struck by a truck and killed. He and his friends were on their way to the Boise High School orientation. The school is offering grief counseling for those in need, and a GoFundMe has been set up to help the family pay for funeral expenses for those who wish to help. You can find the link to the GoFundMe in our show notes. That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends at the dog park. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more local stories from around the city. Bye!